Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Nino Kuni. Let's continue. Uh, we'll run towards the outside here and see if we can avoid running into cutscenes as much, and we will just be able to grind out a little bit. I don't know what it is specifically about this game that I always end up thinking about what I've just seen and then want to refer back to it and talk about it in the cutscenes. But in the last recording, we had a cutscene of the uh, of Oliver when he was a kid with his mother, and she effectively calls him a crybaby bunting, I believe was the phrase, which really just kind of sticks out as some very typical bad parenting that needs to be called out. I think calling your child a crybaby is in no way going to be the right response, in my opinion. We have like a ridiculous amount of people that we need to level up because I've changed the lineup drastically here. So we really need to grind. Um, we had heard earlier in the game of Drippy calling Oliver a crybaby bunting also. So yeah, 4 of those characters went from 1 to 5 in one fight, and we got a star drop. And that's all good and well, but the question and the danger certainly here is that the numbers will start slowing down. I personally kind of feel like parents still are not quite to the point where they would accept that they should be teaching their kids to accept their feelings and appropriately process and react to their feelings. That's not to say that you should let a kid cry to get away with things or cry to get attention, depending on the age. Babies, of course, have to cry to get attention. Um, but in almost the I would say in the vast majority of cases, when you're talking 5-year-olds and older, hey, we got a sprocket, whatever that's for. If a kid is crying, they are obviously having an emotional reaction. That they aren't old enough to really be manipulating people that much. The British in particular have the problem of not being allowed or encouraged to explore their own emotions, previous generations, so that mistake of bad parenting is getting, I think, copied and duplicated with the next generation, and then the next generation, and then the next generation. Um,
Come on, you guys!
and it's not healthy, although it is realistic. But if you were going to make this as a kid's game, and since I have really nothing else to say while we're fighting here, do you really want that to have been the way you want to represent Oliver's mother, as being this kind of uncaring mother on any small aspect? Because up until this point, it has totally been the case where Oliver has been shown as idolizing his mother and putting her up on a pedestal, which would make a lot of sense since she died.
Here goes nothing.
I wish I could move some of these spells around, and I guess I could probably move the tricks around if I bothered to check and do it. Come on, take him out.
Is that it?
The whole preferred or favorite geniuses of characters has painted the entire game in kind of a weird corner because it is overly complicated a game that doesn't have enough characters to justify that level of complication. If, for instance, the first generation of Pokemon games, Pokemon Red or Blue, had all the movesets and all the archetypes that existed later on, um, at the very beginning, uh, that would be overwhelming. Honestly, even first generation Pokemon games are already overwhelming in that while there's 150 Pokemon that you can collect, there's also at least 6 moves per Pokemon that you might want to collect and give. A lot of the moves are repetitive. Tyke Myson, interesting, instead of Mike Tyson reference. I bet the Japanese still would make a Mike Tyson reference and probably wouldn't even know any of the controversy. Well, they literally just did it. But then that might be a localization thing too, where the name in Japanese references a famous Japanese person. There's no bounties on this island. So all the bounties I assume are just going to be on the sea. And I hope the sea fights aren't considerably more difficult, but we kind of already know there is a possibility that they will be considerably more difficult because uh, because we know the whale will be an option. It feels like the chances to tame familiars or serenade familiars is increasing somewhat also. I'd like to get these guys all the way down to level 15. And here we have a cave. Let's see. First thing, we were also given a ridiculous amount of spells. Okay. Let's talk to these guys. Pinch me if I'm dreaming, but are you human? We don't get many humans in this cave. Well, not great to do here, but I hope you have a cracking time anyway. So this is just going to be, I guess, a crab-based city, which we probably are going to have a reason to come back to this later. Let's see. We'll just have to cast all the spells and talk to everybody to see if any of them have anything interesting to say. And I'll... Yeah, this oddly seems like this could have been a collection of crabs that would have given you tips throughout the entire game. On to the west of here, that's always covered with thick fog. None of us crabs go anywhere near that place. Of course, the monsters over there are savage. We'd be in toast in no time. Okay. I'm gonna run out of magic spells. Green treasure chest. Over here. Right.
Stand back.
So you have to get the prompt. I imagine that's all you have to do is just get it circled. And we're gonna have 2 of these. See, this almost seems like this is something you do for an achievement. Crab is floating away. Alright, so that was both of them. This guy's slowly floating away over here. So, apparently these lobsters talk by claw gestures. Shields that have low defense rating might actually be better for automatic blocking, worth bearing in mind, I would say. We're wasting a lot of magic in this cave for seemingly no reason. If we were to try levitate, we haven't tried that yet. Let's see if that does anything. Nope. So we found the green chest. We found a bunch of crabs. Unless there was supposed to be some other secret that happened here. We found a red chest. This just feels like this is either nothing or we've just come at the wrong time. And you could see maybe a reason in RPG games to give a reason to walk out of an area and back into an area so they can respawn in enemies, but I don't know if I fully buy into that. Let's get some magic back.
We did it.
Honestly, we need to be earning about 9 treats after every time we get a treat, instead of just 1. It's just... I assume I just cannot get on the backside of the island there. Walking into the cave did not refill the glowing gold spots. Can't do anything to go up there. These guys are running away from me now. So we've already become so overpowered that there's very few of them that even want to fight me.
Fancy your chances, do you?
We still haven't really figured out what the all out does. All out attack. Like, all out attack seems to be kind of a boost to the attack damage you might do. And it seems like you can just call it. I don't know if we've had a boss fight battle since they mentioned the all out attack. Maybe we have. That might explain why some of these boss battles, in the past couple of boss battles, have been fairly difficult, is because I was told to do something and then forgot about it. Yep. So does this guy repair the ship? Hmm. So we bought a ton of food. So we're gonna leave Drippy behind on Tahiti. Yes. Yes, please. Hmm. You are troubled, I feel. Have you left something behind in the forest? No. No, we're ready to go. Very well, we sail. So we are just leaving Drippy, and that is definitely my personal decision as an option. I have to assume that narratively it's the only choice too, because I just don't believe this game would spend the extra effort to have branching narratives. We did the right thing, didn't we? Of course. Family is the most important thing there is. We all know that. Besides, he's no spring chicken. It's probably time for he settled down. And you've still got us, Oliver. The three of us can do this if we work together. I guess so. Ooh, oi. Ooh, oi. Did you hear that? Huh? Now the controller's vibrating again. For the fourth or fifth time in the whole game. Just running on the water.
Mr. Drippy!
Are you forgetting someone?
Pooh, I'm pooped, man. You're trying to leave without me or something? But Drippy, we thought you wanted to stay back there in Fairy Ground. Who told you that, man? And when exactly? I want names, dates, and times. We just thought all of your friends are back there. Of course they are, man. And they're very dear to me, even the stupid ones. But you and me have been a team since we were little. You were little and I was just a doll, ain't it, Ollie boy? I've been by your side through thick and thin. Remember what you said? You said I was your friend. And a lot of all. You lot are all my friends. Why is Swain his friends? My companions, my brothers and sisters, my family. Urgh, I'm gonna be sick. Shut it, you. What I mean is, you lot are stuck with me whether you like it or not, so get that in your thick skulls, will you? This is basically telling the player you're stuck with them, too. Yes, sir, Mr. Drippy. Humph. We were only trying to be nice after we heard what you said to your friends yesterday. And so it's my fault now, is it? I get it. You don't think I'm pulling my weight, is it? Fine. I'm gonna start using a little trick I know that will blow your tiny minds. Let's see. Drippy has finally gotten his act together and can now use the Tidy Tears ability. Interesting. So this might increase the number of drops. I would assume that's about the only thing he would gain as an ability. It'd be weird if he just randomly started using attacks. Hey, I can't wait to see this. Anyway, it looks like the gang's all here. Shall we get back to what we were supposed to be doing? What he said to Hamlin and the next great sage. Autumnia, here we come. Let's go. Drippy joined you again. Those pop-up notifications, though, um, seem to have really only have played out through this act, and they really haven't been using pop-up notifications before this. The brazen presumptuousness, I guess we've been getting some of these pop-ups, of the Tears Fairy's heart has unlocked a story in the Wizard's Companion. Part of the problem with these stories, though, is that you're not getting the whole story, it doesn't seem like. So if you wanted to read it, you really couldn't do it.
Was it too much for you, perhaps?
We granted you this privilege that you might finally dispose of the prophesied one.
My apologies, Your Radiance. But the boy...
It's funny, they've animated two different locations.
Unique power.
Perhaps. Or perhaps you simply lack the power to stop him. Perhaps.
Apis.
Forgive me, Your Radiance.
Well, I guess we finally got the name of the bird.
The boy is clearly protected by the most potent of magics. Could it be?
The sage, Alicia.
I had wondered, Your Radiance.
She who was foolish enough to stand against you. You think she troubles us even now, in the present?
The power that protects him would suggest so. But he will need more than the sage's aid to save the world. He cannot succeed without the weapon of the ancients, the wand wrought by the wizard king.
Mornstar.
Indeed. But we have no cause to fear its power. He will not
Pay attention to the eyes of
find that.
the White Witch. That might indicate more emotion than you would think.
Tricks after all.
You mean to say you have rid us of Mornstar?
I have. The most enduring symbol of the Wizard King's rule now drifts free of time and space.
Mornstar. Fashioned in the image of our own council's wands and bestowed upon humanity. Yet now, a mere hindrance.
So apparently we're going to do some time traveling.
Certain the boy cannot possess it.
Not now, nor for all eternity.
I wonder if one of the council members, one of the Zodiacs, is a traitor. That might be the case. And almost certainly that was going to be the Morning Star. But I guess Morning Star being one of the names of Lucifer might not play particularly well for a game pretending to be kid-friendly. Okay. Does seem kind of silly to try and do too much here. We should go and check out this island to the west here and see if we can maybe grind a little bit. We didn't take the upgrade to make the ship move faster. There's a lot of words here that have been intentionally, either unintentionally or intentionally, mistranslated. Let's see. We have an all-out attack and all-out defense. If you look at the heads-up display, it has gotten very much overfilled with items. So I am questioning what Drippy's new attack is and how that's going to really work. Yeah, it just seemed like a smarter move to just run towards. These guys are chasing away from me. Running away from me.
Let's do it.
So the entire ocean realm obviously is a its own open world, and it has a pool of monsters, but that pool of monsters is not particularly larger.
Better luck next time.
And the little gold orbs are not anything that we can really work with or use. Can you even land on this island? Levitate, cannot use that here. Let's see. Bridge, nothing happened. Puppet strings, magic lamp. Rejuvenate. We have so many spells now. So I was thinking it would be kind of a nightmare scenario where we would get back to places and Shadar would have filled out the world with much stronger monsters, but I'm wondering now if this isn't a time travel story, more like something like Chrono Cross, or which I assume Chrono Cross has a lot of time travel in it. I think it does.
Let's do it.
Like,
Here goes.
if we do time travel, then we can meet up with Alicia and not just talk about her. We could change the whole world quite a bit. And while we're at it, we'll just continuously grind. Speeding up movement on the ocean, I should have taken, because by the time I do take that ability, I probably won't need it very much. And it doesn't feel like the XP is quite going to get us much higher with these new characters. We're going to have to run into boss fights instead of just generic grindy fights. There's no telling where the island surrounded in fog with the strong monsters are supposed to be. They said to the west of here, which could be very much far to the west. Assuming that is the west. I think the ocean is, for the most part, trying to keep everything where up equals north.
No slacking, you lot.
This is gonna turn into a nightmare if they start running away, which they are. Much like most of these games, Pokemon is a great example. There's not a good team selection option, which would just waste a lot of time at the beginning of every fight, but if there was a fairly quick way to say, hey, let me swap out my team so that I'm playing with the lower level characters because my higher level boss fighting characters aren't going to really benefit from fighting. We can see that things are getting darker and darker as I approach this island. This is probably to indicate going north. You see, in this overworld, all the characters are running around again, which
Fancy your chances, do you?
it is odd how the game chooses to sometimes only have one character in an overworld section and sometimes have this may be too strong. Healing Rain cast by the bad guys. That is the last thing you want to have down here. Let's run away. Seriously? Tidy tears. I can't do anything here. Run away. Like, runaway just does not work ever again. Anytime you try it, does it?
Come on.
Alright, well. Let's quickly save. Get back on the ship and leave. So those guys are too strong for us. And looking at this island, it seems like there might be one collectible and then this tall tower of a building, which I suspect maybe if time moves backwards, that ruin may turn into something. Right. Let's see, provisions. Well, this is going to turn into a nightmare. Provisions. Nice coffee. And then throw our guy out. But unless this magically levels up people, I don't know if that fills up the health of all the characters. Swain may now have full health. But yeah, Esther's down to 1. Yep, these guys are getting more difficult. Also, it does seem like they are going in kind of a different direction with zombies, and I wouldn't have really expected zombies. Alright, Swain. Save the day. Definitely want to throw out our monkey guy. And if Esther is knocked down, then there's no way she could serenade anybody, so you have to protect her more than anybody. As a character, which once again makes her this oddly special character that the story is more focused on than Oliver is. Right. Again, I'm gonna just save. Like, this does feel like this is going to potentially be a dangerous outing. Map-wise, I think we just want to make a mad dash to the city. Like, I don't think we want to get distracted and try and get the glowing gold I think much like the beginning of the game, we just want to kind of hope nothing can touch us. There's another building that looks like it is rubble now. So, we are definitely getting to more of a industrial looking environment that really does not just match with the magical world we've been seeing up until this point. And it seems weird. We do see a giant pig face in the city carved. I suspect we will just see a bunch of pig characters. Place of the Porcine Prince. Palace of the Porcine Prince, maybe. Crikey, this place is flipping massive. Neato, there are machines everywhere. We have seen robots in a few areas, but obviously they're going to start to play a major role. Careful, Oliver, your eyes are going to pop out of your head if you're not careful. No, they're not. I was just saying. Ha ha. Anyway, never mind the machines. Look over there. Ruddy Nora, what the heck is he wearing? He kind of looks like a pig. Jeepers, take a look around. They're all dressed like pigs. Damn it. The hell is this? Esther says, huh? Did I tap the button twice? Didn't feel like I did. Sometimes it does seem like the dialogue just skips ahead. Small glitch there. It seems like we may have to get yet another outfit change for no reason. I should mention, apparently Ghibli is going to try and make a amusement park in Tokyo, well, in between Tokyo and Osaka in Japan. But oddly, it's not going to have any rides at all. So instead, it's going to be what I would describe as more of an immersion park, where you walk around and feel like you are entering the world of some of the Ghibli movies. Although, really, they're only covering 4 big movies when they could have gone deeper in detail. And it definitely feels like it is quite a tourist track from the description of what it's going to be, with just a lot of food and a lot of shopping opportunity. There will be a theater, and that would be the closest thing to an entertainment venue outside of food and shopping. It's an interesting idea, and the Ghibli Museum already does exist in Japan, and it's kind of a really tiny place. They're making a special effort, and I don't even know why I'm bothering talking about this other than this Ghibli worked on this game some small amount. They're making a real effort not to disturb nature and using places that have already been cleared, so they're not going to cut down even one tree, they claim, because they're converting what was a Olympic stadium or a World's Fair event or something like that. So it was one of those wasteful construction projects to make a facility for an Olympics that then gets abandoned because it's just too expensive to maintain, which that's what happens to almost every Olympics village every year, is that it gets abandoned, and maybe a pool here or a track there can get used by the city, but usually it's not worth the effort. That's one of the many reasons why Olympics have become somewhat of a scam. Of course, it has nothing to do with this game. It's just another indicator of how I'm uninterested in the story. Huh? Is it just me, or is Swain behaving a little strangely today? Funny she says today. Time should have just passed better. And remember, early in the game, we did see Esther and Oliver rest one night at a campfire. So we know at least one day passed between Esther and Oliver. But since then, we've not seen anybody sleep or or indicate that time is moving forward at all. And yet, immediately, Esther acts like she's known Swain for weeks or months. Do you think so? You might be, I guess, says Oliver. Right. You have fun looking around. I'm off. Hey, what? Huh? Wait, Swain. Geez, what's with him? So we're gonna chase after him. Why do you just run off like that? I suppose he wants to be alone, honestly. He just does whatever he pleases. Bah, leave him to it, man. We'll have more fun without him. The stroppy so-and-so. Swain has left your party. Now, so... is this going to be in the acts going forward? Is that we're going to just have Drippy leave the party and then reunite with Drippy, and then Swain leave the party and join the party? Rejoin the party. Is Esther going to leave the party? Oliver, I guess, can't leave the party. But yeah, it does kind of feel like what we are going to run into is a scenario where a lot of repeated ideas happen. Right, let's see. So this guy is blocking our way to this bar. So we're blocked out. So we're going to have to be accepted by the group. A very Japanese mentality, certainly, is come to this city and then become a member of the city and join the group instead of being the outsider protagonist, the savior of the world who is unique and special. Even though the game did say Oliver is unique and special, he's not unique and special enough to that he could get away with not dressing and acting like everyone else. Alright, there are some new things here. So, counteracts as nixes. I don't know what a nix is. And then incredibly expensive things. They also have some foods. I'm gonna get one of these, and one of these. And then I don't really want to spend anything for coffee, even though that's the thing I'm using the most. That does get rid of some of our gold, in case there's a problem with that. We should run back up here and rest. See how much gold we get from this. First be gone, that's pretty good. So Automata Genius, a large mechanical creature and a small mechanical creature, and finally a creature that takes the form of a brown cog. Alright. If we're gonna do that, we have to then drop off some familiars. And that means we've got to drop off these guys. And we've lost Swain, which that sucks. So if we do end up doing any kind of fight, it's gonna be a fairly more difficult fight. You can spin around. Clearly there's a portrait of the good-looking boy, as they were describing him wearing one of these pig helmets, which I bet he doesn't like that he's described as the good-looking boy. There's nothing else in here. The price of staying in these places is getting more like this is getting more expensive each time. But also we are kind of doesn't matter because we're getting more gold every time we end up in a new city too, so the expense is being offset. It doesn't seem to be anything over here. There's a sewer grate, so that does leave the room for more fast traveling. I think though, if the trailer on the main menu shows us flying on a dragon at some point, I think that probably confirms we will never have an opportunity to actually fast travel, and instead we will just have to fly. It seems like this Hamlin is pouring smog in the air, and that probably going to be a bad thing. There's a lot of nature, protect nature ideas in Ghibli movies, or anti-pollution ideas in Ghibli movies, and generally just in Japanese conscious thought. But this game has not established itself well enough to really make too much of a side narrative about pollution. Alright, let's see if we've got all kinds of new errands. Ooh, there's a whole bunch of new errands. This is again giving me the feeling that the game is trying to open up completely. Yeah, we are definitely, I think, not going to be able to rest on the laurels. I guess movement speed increased will take. We had to take it anyways. You couldn't have done anything else. Well, that was the right move. So, Cheap Jack would let you buy items in the shop for cheaper, which, geez, I wish I had known that from the beginning. Cracker Jack increase the amount of experience gained through taking part in battles. Help you strike fear in the enemies, causing them to drop more items. Collect more gleams that remain at the end of the battle automatically. Lower the cost of continuing. Well, I can certainly cheat my way around this just by saves coming a lot. So this would be the last one to take. This is probably the second last one to take. More items, I think we want. Like, yeah, you probably want more items than you want cheaper prices. Experience, though, is always the best thing. So start with experience, then go with this, then go with this, then go with this, then go with this. And this will take a long time because each of these is going to require us to fill out 3 stamp cards. And so that is going to be a while. Unless the city just happens to be absolutely full of easy quest items to do. I think we'll run this way, even though there is a piece of heart that way. We don't... What pieces of heart do we have right now? We have 2 already, so there's a decent chance we may already have what we would collect a second time if the game would let us collect things a second time. I'm a little surprised the game hasn't already forced us into changing our outfit again. I heavily suspect that's what's coming. There's some weirdness here. I'm seeing some floating lines just in the middle of the air. Yeah. There's some kind of like effect or something that's making some floating lines appear in the middle of the screen. In this, some kind of either my computer's messing up, which that might be the case, or it's something else. Some kind of reflection texture or filter that's just poorly animated. Might trying to be indicating dust, but I don't think so. Okay. 2,000 we don't have, 2,000 we don't have, which that pretty much means all of these weapons are going to be out of the realm of our cost. We could buy this, or we could buy this. This would be better to buy. Okay. Reducing the prices might become more beneficial later on. I'm trying to spin around here and see if I see any of those lines. Nope, oddly that seemed to only be occurring in that place. So that wouldn't feel like a bug with like something crazy like my graphics card failing or anything like that. And we're back to cutscenes. Flat 2D cutscenes. So we got another Ghibli animation.
A royal procession here. Huh? What's happening?
This really does feel like this was just a Ghibli movie that they had done a little bit of work on and then abandoned.
Seems that way.
Your voices don't will.
It's true.
Welcome to Hog Heaven.
Odd that Swain would just appear again. Cool that the buildings move. No real reason why buildings would move, but cool idea. Yeah, I imagine my understanding of animation in Japan and how Ghibli would do it would be there would be a keyframe animator that would work off of concept designs to start any scene. So whenever there would be a scene change, you would start with one first keyframe, and then the keyframe animator from the beginning of that scene, that one person, would make another keyframe, perhaps 15 frames, maybe even 30, probably not 60 frames ahead of that first keyframe. Then you'd have in between animators and a whole bunch of other people working to trace the keyframe and just make the subtlest, just a pencil width change from one direction to another. So if somebody was walking, their left leg would go just a pencil width further for the first frame after a keyframe, then a little bit more towards a step forward after the next frame, and so on and so on, until they're fully walking, or they look like they're fully walking. So, if you were going to follow the way work is broken up, it would be weird to have multiple keyframe animators on the same show, but maybe you could try that, where one sequence was by one keyframe animator and another sequence was by another keyframe animator. That kind of would make sense, but it doesn't make sense why there isn't a linear connected story between all of these flat Ghibli 2D animations. Like, so to me, to my mind, this had to have been intended to be for use to be in a video game from the beginning. Like, I can't imagine that the flat 2D animations were going to be its own separate thing. Unless, I suppose here's a scenario, unless there was something like a fire or something like that where they just lost a ton of footage. That would make sense. Or the person in charge of animating was letting them just work in a very odd way, animating interesting sections of a story while ignoring the uninteresting sections, which that could be a reason too. It just feels incredibly weird, certainly, that you would have maybe 40 minutes of animation, but if you tried to cut all the cutscenes together, it wouldn't make any sense. Again, you might have a narrator over that could explain a lot. Of course, putting it in Ni no Kuni as a video game then confuses the issue even more, because now we have like 4 or 5 different animation styles that are happening here. You have the flat voiced Ghibli animations, you have the unvoiced 3D animations, you have the voiced 3D animations, you have the overworld appearance, and the fight mechanic appearances that all kind of do something different. Anyways, once again, I'm losing interest in actually reading this dialogue. Swain, you're such a pain, says Esther. Where did you run off to? I had some business to take care of, and the little bird told me something that might just interest you. Huh? You mean? Yep, it's about the great sage you're all so eager to find. Tidy, well, come on then. Where is he? Don't keep us in suspense, man. Oh, where's the thing? Well, that's the thing. He's in the palace. The palace? Question mark? You see, everyone here is forced to wear a pig mask. Well, they say there's a fellow who goes around without one. Apparently he calls him the prince's servant. And there's more. They say that he's a young chap with long hair and fine features. Wait, that sounds like the boy in the picture we got from Califia. Got it, in one. Goodness. And there, I was thinking you were completely useless, says Esther. There's harsh. Don't mince her words, does she? But how did you find out about this, Swain? Oh, it just happened. Just something I overheard while I was wandering through the black market. The black market? You certainly seem to know your way around this city, Swain. Me? No, never been here before in my life. I have a good news for Leeds, is all. You don't get a face like this unless you've lived a little. Let's just say I know a thing or two about a thing or two. Humph, says Esther. So he serves the prince, huh? Then he must be real important. That parade was something else. Pa. Now talking about the Porky Prince fellow, the thing is... Flipping heck. What's all that racket? I almost jumped out of my fairy suit, man. What's going on? Why is this voiced? $5,000. It's quite a bit. Flipping eye conduct. What kind of law is that? Never heard anything like that. What's going on here? So they can't make eye contact with each other or the prince. This is insane. How could he? Boy, you want to find the great sage, don't you? Well, hurry up and head to the palace. You're right, let's go. So that was almost a tease that Swain was going to be gone for a longer amount of time. So clearly Swain is the actual prince, and he left somebody else in charge who's just a nut job. Alright. So they're all wearing these pig masks. Do I want to go and try to get more pieces of heart? Or do we want to see if we can talk to people? Let's see. Man, it's hard to even get your orientation correct. Like, apparently the person should be over here. Alright, so this is a quest where we should cast a spell, which should be quick growth. Use the spell to make the flower bloom. So I had to actually activate it on the flower. Okay. So now we need a creature that looks like the sun. We do have a creature that looks like the sun. I guess we'll have to go collect him. We'll do that later. Trying to remember. This entire walled off section over here. So he's already got restraint, so I can't get any more restraint from him. The confusion be gone is actually what they call a bonk hammer, I believe. It's a little toy hammer thing. Get a little closer so we can talk to this guy and pretend like we're gonna talk to him. Take some kindness from him. Wouldn't be surprised if we find out the princess assistance is lacking restraint and kindness. I wouldn't be surprised actually if the last 4 pieces of heart are combined pieces of hearts of the other 2, but let's see, the possible number of combinations you could have if all combinations are valid with 4 would be 16, not another 4. I would think, yeah. So, yeah, it wouldn't really make sense that the remaining 4 were combinations of 4. Unless you have to combine like 3 things into one other thing, then maybe, but I doubt that's the case. I imagine they're just going to introduce 4 more pieces of heart. They're brand new. Should we save? Probably. Still don't have a single formula. We have another spirit stone. If anything, we should have put the boring stuff at the bottom. Just way down here at the bottom. Let's see. Save. We'll save over this one more time. And then it seems like we're going back to a cutscene. Probably pretty quickly. It's not gonna let us walk by. We can talk to apparently either one of them. You lot are travelers, I take it? That's right, sir. We've come to Hamlin to meet one of the great sages, and we think he's inside the palace. Is that so? And I suppose you'd like me to let you in so you can have a look for him, am I right? Ah, great sage indeed. Good one, boy. Huh? You've obviously not been listening to the emergency degrees. No one's been allowed anywhere near the palace for ages. Ha ha ha. These travelers, eh? Never seem to have a clue, do they? Excuse me, at least we have some manners. Again, Esther's gonna get us thrown in jail if she's not careful. I do apologize for my young friend. She was merely unaware of the decree you mentioned, and is regrettably quick to anger. We beg your pardon. Swain, what on earth are you? Shh, I've got an idea. An idea? Question mark. Then we have the more comedic reaction. What is it then? Got a way to get us into the palace, have you? Yes, and it's very simple. We wear disguises. Disguises? Keep your voices down, man. Haven't you noticed these guards' faces can't be seen under the armor they're wearing? What, you're saying we're gonna wear those awful pig suits? But where would we get them, Swain? We're not gonna have to steal it, are we? Pipe down, man, seriously. Drippy is on board already. Alright, everybody just stay calm. I told you about the black market they have here in Hamlin, right? Well, they definitely have some pig armor for us there. Just have to go and get it. Really, crikey. Look who's got all the answers, eh? Humph. I don't see why you couldn't always be... I don't see why you couldn't always be this useful. We definitely have a budding relationship, romantic relationship starting to happen. That was an odd transition. In the case of Esther, let's see. This guy, I think, wants courage. So a lot of these side quests are going to definitely just be moving pieces of heart And that's what I thought was going to happen pretty much in this game anyways, is that most of the side quests were going to revolve around finding pieces of hearts in NPCs and giving pieces of hearts in NPC. It's not a terrible system, really, because most of the time non-playable characters, if they have any kind of key item that you have to collect and give, it is some uniquely thought out key item and something they have to write into the story and spend extra time thinking about and writing about. So it's actually fairly beneficial to just say, nope, we will write a couple of sentences about why somebody is lacking courage, and that'll be the interesting part of the encounter, and then the items will just be a piece of heart, and we'll be able to reuse the art of the 3D model of the piece of hearts over and over again, saving an animator quite a bit of time. Right. So I have to assume that the black market is probably back where the bar is. Let's talk to this guy. So that guy has some more strength already. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. Need to retrieve a familiar in the sense of the one that looks like a sun, not reserve. And to the black market we go. We can see the guy is now not standing in the way. So these might be more interesting people to talk to. Oddly, no, you can't go in the bar. But you'd almost expect that there would be a way to go in the bar. Instead, we're going into this underground place. This guy needs more something. Enthusiasm. Kindness. Give heart. Clearly this mechanic should in some way integrate with grinding and fighting monsters, though. That you should be able to maybe take pieces of heart after grinding and fighting monsters, or collect them, or something. Feel good fungus. I don't think we have feel good fungus as an ingredient. Nope. So that's a different quest. It's interesting, we're fixing the broken hearts, then we're getting the more separate quest. In a lot of RPG games, NPC players don't do anything for you. They don't give you side quests or any rewards for fixing broken hearts or doing anything like that. Most NPCs are kind of non-existent as personalities, and they just wander around to make the city feel less creepy, because otherwise the city would be completely empty. We still won't be able to open this until we get the final wand. Here we have a human-looking character. William Abel. Powdered oak horn, fresh black truffles. There's nothing old Abel ain't able to get you what it'll be today. You haven't changed a bit, have you? Have I met you somewhere before? Or no? Now then, let's get down to business. I need some grunt armor. 4 suits. Can you help me out? Blimey, grunt armor? I don't handle gear like that, sir. But if I did, what would you need it for? You don't need to worry about it. Let's just say the place we need to go has what you might call a strict dress code. Is that a fact? Well, even if I was in the armor business, gear like that ain't easy to get a hold of. You'll just have to look elsewhere, sir. I see. Well, I had hoped I wouldn't have to mention this, but I know about Grace. I know you love her, and that you try to hide her. Don't say another word. Where did you hear that name? You know how it goes. Spend long enough in the gutter and you're bound to pick up some dirt. So Swain seems to peddle and rumor and information quite a bit. Alright, I'll get you your armor. I'll get it for you right away. Just wait a moment. Was that a threat? Maybe. But the end justifies the means, right? We need the armor. That's terrible. This isn't right. We can't take advantage of people like this. Again, this would have been a great scene to have voiced. Particularly if this was supposed to be a kid's game. Otherwise, it comes off pretty terrible. Like, I don't like the sound of my voice much. I imagine most people probably don't love it. But yeah, I don't want to have to read out Esther's lines. There's nobody out there that could voice Oliver, Esther, and Swain and do a good job at it. You would need at least 2 voice actors. Whether at least 2, probably 3 voice actors for the 3 characters doing the lines. Yes, alright, I did a terrible thing. You're right, I'm sorry, says Swain. There, I apologize. Stop looking at me like that. It won't happen again, alright? Do you promise? Esther being naive here. Well, I promise to try my best. You can't even make a simple promise. What kind of man are you? Here's your armor. Sorry to keep you waiting. Are you going to put it on straight away? Yeah, if you don't mind, thanks. Thank you, Mr. Abel. Now look, I don't know what you're up to, but be careful, alright? Oh, and nice one, by the way. What? Your friend, I take my hat off to him. Only a real pro could have worked out my little secret. Funny, really. Before he mentioned it, I had him down as a real joker. But he obviously knows what he's doing, eh? Hehe. So, it wasn't a threat? Swain, look. Come on, let's get changed. So the pig noses are fake, apparently. Well, I think Drippy's gonna get caught. Look, Swain, I'm sorry about what I said before. This is an oddly unvoiced, like, argument, lover's quarrel happening between Esther and Swain. Which dangerously puts us closer to the idea that either Swain or Esther is going to get killed before the end of the game. And I wouldn't be surprised if it very much is a case where Esther gets killed, since they've already killed off the mother and trapped Alicia. Most of the important female characters in the story are getting sidelined. It's fine. Now, how does your armor feel? I guess mine's a little big. Mine too. I bet I look huge. No, you look just like you usually do. Huh, what's that supposed to mean? Come on, you guys, let's stop fighting and head for the palace. You're right, let's go the Great Sage. So I guess that was supposed to be a running gag of people calling Esther fat. Blimey. Esther and Swain have got a right old rapport with the right material. They'd go far around the stand-up circuit. Okay. Assume we cannot open that. And so now we are just playing as effectively different characters. Which I guess that means, will there be any different conversations to have? Or will it all be the same? Wouldn't be surprised if it's all the same. See what this guy says. Well, that did look like a different conversation. We're getting 60 guilder now from pots. And once again, going the opposite direction from the pots is don't think we've used up the restraint yet. His little necklace is glowing through the outfit. Interesting. So yeah, going the opposite direction reveals a few more secrets. But the pots really shouldn't exist. You could easily have removed them and had more fights. Or you could have removed the fights and had more pots. Either one kind of would have worked. See. Let's see if we can cast a spell here. Not on this dog. Can't talk to the dog at the moment. It's getting exhausting, certainly, walking back and forth. We found you the next best thing to sunshine, ma'am. How extraordinary. It really does just look like a sun. Let's get it to shine the light on your plant. Nito, the flowers are blooming. You're not wrong, Holly boy. Feast your eyes on those beautiful blooms. Oh, they are simply exquisite. My mother will be over the moon. Well, we got the plant to flower in time for your mother's birthday. Thank you ever so much. Young man, I would be honored if you'd accept this. So that's one stamp card, but we need, I think, 2 more before we could turn in anything. Yeah, if we look here, as far as quests go, go back to the ferry area. Go back to the ferry area. Go back to the ferry area. Why do I have so many quests that were around going back to the ferry area? That seems crazy. Yeah. Almost every side quest is back to the ferry area. And there's no fast traveling to get back to that area. I could have sworn I double checked to see if there were any quests before we left Tahiti, the ferry area. It's kind of silly that they've changed the animation in the lower left hand corner too. That seems kind of pointless. Unless they're just going to let us wear this armor and it's going to prove itself to actually be useful in a battle. Try this again. Hey, what are you lot doing here. Sir, we were sent out to fetch something, sir. Did we send someone out? Oh, Knickers. He's made a potch of it already. Drippy, I guess, is thinking that since it's in parentheses. Oh, you went to pick the prince's weekly supply, did you? He never gets tired of those things. Alright, for some. Eh? You ever tried one? Oh my goodness, just say no, Swain. Yes, sir, just once, sir. Black truffles are a bit on the expensive side, sir. You're not wrong there. You need to be a prince to afford that habit. Well then, you better hurry and deliver them. In you go. Neato, we're in, says Oliver, or thinks Oliver. Again, Swain seems to really know a lot. You really know your stuff, Swain. Did you used to work here or something? No, nothing like that. Why are you so interested in my past anyway? I'm not the least bit interested in your past, says Esther. I'm just making conversation. Crikey. That told him. Now listen. We've done well to get this far, but if the guards find us now, we'll be in big trouble. Don't do yourselves down, Mon. From what I've just seen, you can sweet talk past anyone. I don't think my silver tongue's gonna get us any further. From here on in, they'll attack first and ask questions later. What? So we just give up, do we? No, we can't give up. We've made it this far. We have to keep going. Let's just make sure we don't get caught. Alright, Oliver, but listen, if a guard spots you, just start running as fast as you can. It ain't much of a plan, but it'll do for me. So, stealth mission, apparently. And I assume that's what this is an experiment. We can't save Scum either. Alright, so hang on, Ollie boy, we need to use our heads and think before we move. Otherwise these porkers will sniff us out in no time flat. First thing to do is press right bump and get the old map. Looking at that will help you work out where the guards are. Got it? This place is crawling with blighters, so you need to use the right stick to check if the coast is clear before strolling around in corners. And if you take proper close look at the map, I bet you'll spot some handy nooks dotted around the place. If we hide from the guards, they'll never spot us. Thing about these pigs' helmets they wear is that they can't see. They can only see what's right in front of their snouts. So if we don't get carried away and stray too close to them, I reckon we'll be alright. Got all that, have you? Tidy, let's do this, shall we? Alright. I see a nook straight above, but there's certainly a question to ask here. Where is the spell? Didn't they just give me a spell that was like turn invisible? What happened to that spell? I could have sworn there was a spell it gave us that was vanish. Become invisible in the shadows. And this was one of these brown ones. So, can I not cast that spell until I have a better wand, I wonder? That must be it. That we got a bunch of tier 2 spells. And we need a tier 2 wand. Or a tier 3 wand. Okay. So we're just gonna wait until this guy walks past us. In this nook. Then as soon as he walks past me, I'm gonna just run. Well, that door must be a shortcut door. And I suppose it benefits us to not have 4 people wandering around with me. Okay. So this guy, I suspect is going to go in circles. Just may not be safe. And I question if we're gonna fight or fly. Okay. We don't have a run spell or anything. I imagine these guys would catch me if I got right up behind them. Yep. This is something different, and I appreciate it, but I also have to point out that just got caught. Who in the blazes are you? Over here, where I can see. State your name, rank, and purpose. Jeepers, I think we might be in trouble. Don't panic, Ollie boy. In a situation this, I found the best thing is to keep your cool and look them straight in the eye and flipping leg it. Alright. So we just have to start all over again. So you can't get too close. I don't think there's a secondary way to do this either. I think the way I did it to get as far as I did was really the only option. So we just need to make sure that they kind of pass completely. What? How did he see me there? Why is the camera so low? Because it's hitting the wall. So here was what I was going to complain about. Certainly is, while it would be wonderful to have something new in this game, you also potentially have a difficulty spike now, and don't know a way to I really don't know a way to work around this difficulty spike, because see if maybe we could spring a lock. Nope. Yeah. You can't save scum. We've figured that part out. And see, they straight up just made that so you would get caught if you're not careful. And it's not like there's a cycle here. Like, in that you could walk straight forward or run straight forward, and if you're just quite fast enough, you'll manage to get past them. And you almost would have to assume that this is going to... Maybe this is the way to go. Oh no, he's gonna turn around. And that means we need to run this way. Need to hurry. I think maybe we're working on the idea if he doesn't see us, we won't see if we don't see him. Come on. You would just hope that this would be the end of it, or this would at least checkpoint you in a way. So that because that could have turned into a nightmare scenario. And the way you would have worked around that is you would have just had a stealth section in Ding Dong Dell, and you would have had a stealth section in Elmo Moon. As a concept, having to sneak around is not a terrible idea for changing up what you're doing in the game, but introducing it, like, how far away are we? We're past 24 hours probably at this point into the game. It's kind of ridiculously late to introduce any kind of new gameplay mechanic. Like, there almost certainly is a big difference between a epic odyssey like tale that would be in a book, where you could every chapter tell something different and have a different type of experience, and it's almost expected in a novel that things like that would happen, versus a video game which has to establish some touchstones, some keystone ideas, key gameplay mechanics, where you really don't have to do that in a more linear, non-interactive experience. Drippy says, "Old Knickers, it's a dead end." Hey, look. Flipping heck, man, stop shouting. But look, it's a manhole. What do you mean, it's a manhole? A hole in the floor is about as much use to us as a blinking... Wait, if we go through here, I think we'll come out somewhere around there. Well, it's worth a try, isn't it? It certainly is. Right, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is going to end up just acting as a checkpoint. Yeah, we're 26 points. We're 26 hours into this game. Let's save at least. Hang about. Are you telling me we really have to go down there? Says Drippy. Yep, that's what we're doing. Alright, in we go. Oh, this armor's too big to fit inside. Well then, let's take it off. I guess Esther's in pink and Oliver's in blue. I didn't realize that before. So we're out of the outfit again. Another kind of ridiculous costume change for no reason. I'm wondering if we're going to have a cartoony animation of them jumping down the manhole, or if it's just going to kind of fade to black. Take it off. You don't take off your disguise at a time like this. Man, I'm keeping mine on. Size isn't a problem for me. Disguise is Drippy. You're just wearing a helmet. Too right I am. And I'm the only one of us that's gotten half a chance of not getting caught. I'll tell you why, shall I? Don't tell me you've learned to do a Hamlin accent? No. You sarky so-and-so, it's because this helmet by here is the best disguise of all. Every time I hear a guard coming, I just tuck in my arms and legs, ain't it? Guards just see a helmet lying on the ground and continue on their merry way, blending in with the environment, ain't it tidy? Blending in. Like Ulk, let's blend into the environment too. Like Ulk. What is Ulk? They blend into their environment too, says Esther. I don't know what an Ulk is. No, man, that's completely different. Sure. So anyway, it looks like this manhole is the only option, huh? Unless Drippy can find some giant helmets to wear, yes. Let's get down there, shall we? Pointless dialogue. And another overly animated
Look at this
area.
place. It's amazing.
Throne room.
It sure is something.
So, this is how the other half live, is it? Proper swanky, this is. Oi, it's this way.
Tapping her on the shoulder.
Get a move on.
Okay. Are
That's
you sure
another
about it?
animation I'm not sure they needed to do.
Ah! What now? Run! Run, I tell you!
And this is definitely
Rest with you lot.
an animation that is in the trailer. Giant pig tank. Porco Grosso. That is a straight reference to Porco Rosso, which is one of the Ghibli movies. Yep. That being said, like, I'm not having like really a fun time here with this. If this was supposed to be a bunch of remember berries of Ghibli movies, I don't think that really quite works for me. It's been probably too long since the last time I watched a Ghibli movie. And you kind of are in a weird position where you want to watch Ghibli movies with kids, and I don't have any kids that want to watch a Ghibli movie or are of the right age to watch a Ghibli movie yet. Let's go ahead and throw out this guy. Let's see. This guy seems to have a really high attack. Alright. I'm trying to figure out what to do. Take it, Fremont. You'll never put a dent in this mechanical monstrosity unless you use magic or one of your familiar tricks. A spot of storm magic should do nicely. These mechanical types ain't exactly fond of lightning, see? Alright, well, we need to go to this guy and provision with a food item. Well, I don't know what happened there. Throw out this guy. And then water bomb. Yeah, water bomb is doing a lot of damage. Bubble bath, not so much. And we're about to die again. Alright, provisions. Fishburger, Esther. She's dead. Spells. We've got nothing. I don't think I'm gonna survive this. This skin is wrecking me, just like ruining the experience. Alright. This guy is getting...
I'm sorry, Mom.
I'm sorry, Mom. That's an odd line of dialogue. Okay. Let's continue. Well, let's actually not continue, since we saved anyways. We're gonna need to go all out, so we'll want to do that too. Whatever that means. Okay. Skip that. And then skip that. Alright. Send this guy out. And then go all out attack and water bomb. This guy's movement is just a nightmare. All out defense. It's not evade. Let's see. Spells. Burden him, I guess. And then other spells. Ice, fire. Try ice. I don't know if this is a case where maybe he just totally went for me. This guy's just gonna run over me every time. Still out our guy. Maybe this is the wrong character. Let's throw out... No, that is definitely the wrong character. Just go ahead and defend. We've got nothing. We need more provisions. We need more spell magic points. Come on. Still trying to figure out which one is the right one to use. And attack. These guys are just not really capable of doing anything. Maybe if we could get a chance. Like, we could. Are we at all-out defense or all-out attack at the moment? Alright. I think we just need to drink more coffee. Spells. Stick with frostbite. Like 20 attack. Keep attacking these guys and hope that it can't kill me. Let's see. We probably need to keep ourselves alive. But then I guess that means we can throw this guy back out. And then we can just attack. Come on. Is everybody all on attack from I guess now? Well, that's the end of this, people. Phoenix Feather. Come on. Phoenix Feather on Oliver.
The end of the line.
I don't know how to win here. I've either screwed myself over by simply having the wrong people in my team and thinking that I could replace 3 characters, or this is just extremely difficult for some other reason. Right. If I was to try and leave this area and go back, could I do something there? I'm gonna see. Do we have anything that would do? I think this is the guy we want to focus on. Alright, and then bubble bath. Like, we want the bubble bath to just execute and see that that is doing a lot of damage. Let's see if Oliver can then throw out another guy. And apparently you can call out all-out defense at different times. So I probably need to be doing it all the time. Just as soon as it happens and it runs out, I should be back to try for something. Yeah, I really don't have anything I can do right now. Just all-out defense again to try and increase it. Wait for our recharging to slowly happen. Bubble Bath at 10 mana, I assume is stronger. So I probably do want to do Bubble Bath more often. Okay, Esther is down. Let our guy recover. While Esther is down, we'll Phoenix Feather Esther. I feel like I also have a provision here we could do that would give extra health to everybody. We probably should do that. Spirit Dew. Or Pixie Dew. I think we do Pixie Dew. And then we throw out this guy. Remember the all-out defense. Okay. Let's go and switch to this guy. So he's just going to increase the health or defense of a character. Okay. Throw out this character. Come on, Sid. That didn't seem like that even did any damage to him. Esther is down again. Swain is down again. And I'm probably down again. Okay. What can we do? What can we do? Like, these boss fights are just getting more and more difficult. Even when you try to grind in between it, it's not really helping. Let's see. Could we walk back this way? Yes, you could, but that would be dangerous. Because then you just have to sneak out. And I only have so much resources that I could spend anyways. So unless I was going to find out that there was, say, a weapon that I could equip that would increase our damage significantly. Defense in general, I'd like to equip that. I'd have to kind of figure out who's wearing what. We could swap that. We could try for different attacks. We could swap that. That would change our attacks somewhat. But feeding them items here wouldn't do anything. Mix and match. Let's see, what if we did a sandwich and white bread? Try to mix that together. Yeah. It really would just waste a huge amount of time. Do have one of these sturdy scales we can equip. It's like beef and yogurt. Yep. So yeah, none of that's going to help us. Unless we were going to go into the alchemy book pages and desperately try to find if there was some kind of food or potion. I think most of these don't work. You need like 1 cake and 3 crunchy carrots, 1 creamy flan, 2 bunches of bananas, 1 gnome bread. I could probably make that. So if we started to get a ton of ingredients, we could upgrade our food and get really good at that. Maybe. At the current moment, there actually isn't anything you can do. Let's see. Give this one a scale. So I guess what I'll do is this gives me an interesting opportunity to play off screen and just struggle through this boss battle. There is obviously something missing as far as a real polish in this game that would have made it more reasonable that you could take on such a character. Um, and really, for this type of game, should just be beating it on the first try. Remember, I am playing on easy mode. Let's just remember that. Like, this was for people who prefer uh, to see the story. Well, I can't go forward and see the story because the game is holding me back. Uh, and I don't think in this 2 hours we've really made any progress at all. Not a single life lesson, I'm sure. I'm not sure if we've done a single even character because we haven't fought anything. We haven't been to new dangerous places. So completion ratio really should just be at what it is, at what it was 2 hours ago. Suffice it to say, this is not satisfactory and frustrating. This is not the kind of experience you want to have. This is in part exactly what I'm afraid of when I'm afraid to potentially play a RPG game, particularly a Japanese RPG game. My fear is that you will just have difficulty spikes or things that demand a lot of grinding. If I cannot beat this guy, I'm going to have to sneak out of the castle, go back to the overworld outside the city, and struggle to fight those monsters and get leveled up enough that I can succeed. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. I will try and defeat the boss. I'll try and pause it so uh, I'm just about to win. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wish list. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.